Well, what has it been? 39 days? Something like Oh, it was February. 37 days since the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old Tucson, Arizona woman who is also the mother of NBC Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. There are several things that happened in the news today and over the weekend, including the announcement that cadaver dogs that had been employed were being pulled back. I want to go over, what's happening in the case and talk about that, the dogs, and a couple of other things. Stick with me. This video contains mature themes and discussions intended only for adult audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello there, my friend, and welcome back to another true crime conversation with me, Gavin Fish, where we like to cut through the fluff and sensationalism of true crime, get right into the nitty-gritty. If that is what you like, I'm glad you have stopped by. Thank you for joining, and please tell me in the live stream and in the chats where you're joining me from. I love that. Bonus points, brownie points, if you can do it in a creative way. Okay? Also, thank you very, very much. I just noticed Bobby McCrae, sorry, getting us started with the super chat. Let's see if I can get it to pop up here. Thank you very much. You'll notice that there is a goal on this on the YouTube side of things. On Spotify, that's after the fact. But you'll notice that on YouTube, I have a goal today, okay? And if we reach 10 super chats today, I'm going to play for you my latest spoof commercial. And that spoof commercial, I teased a little bit in the fish tank earlier today. It is for a shampoo called Lalibye. Lalibye. So it's a, you know what? If you want to support me, which I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate, and you would like to see the spoof commercial, we got to get 10 super chats tonight. And I hope that we get there, and I hope that you enjoy it. But I'm going to stick to my guns, okay? I'm sticking to my guns, and we're only going to do this if we reach our goal. Okay, let's get into the case at hand. Once again, just as a recap, Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old, mother of Savannah Guthrie. On January 31st of this year, she went to her daughter's house and had some family time, had some dinner, games, things like that. She was dropped off back at her house, not too far away, in the Catalina foothills area of Tucson, Arizona. And she was expected to be at church the following day. To me, it's not clear whether it was remote or in person. It doesn't really matter. She did not show. Her church members going, that is completely out of character, called the family. The family checked on her. She was nowhere to be seen. There were signs that there was a crime scene. The police were called. Police came, and they believe that she has been kidnapped. Now, of course, there has been quite a circus around this one, and I'm actually a little deflated to know that things are kind of calming down on this, because I think we got to keep this case in the forefront until there is a resolution to it. And I'm really grateful to people like Brian Enton, people like Josh Ritter that spend so much time out there getting us information. And tonight we're going to read an article by a friend of mine, Michael Ruiz from Fox Digital, who I met through the Ellen Greenberg case. He is amazing and does really good reporting. We're going to get into that. But anyway, according to police, the family has all been cleared. There have been some ransom notes. There have been some, you guys know, there have been communications back and forth very publicly. It's a giant question to me whether or not the ransom notes were ever real to begin with. I mean, who sends a ransom to TMZ of all places? And we had my friend Jen Coffendaffer on last week, former FBI agent, retired FBI agent, on to talk about that a little bit. You can go back and check that episode out to get her thoughts on it. But yeah, the ransom, in the beginning, I was like, yeah, somebody who's an amateur is asking for ransom. And now all of a sudden, we're not talking about ransom anymore. What does this mean? Does this mean the family knows that they're not going to get her back anymore? So what's the point of the ransom? Or does it mean that they were phony to begin with, or something else? I don't know. You tell me in the chat. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the matter. Just a quick little checkaroonie. I did see Beth coming in with our second super chat of the day, wanting to see that commercial, and I want to share it with you. Thank you very much, Beth, for taking care of me that way. All right, come with me, if you will, over to Yale Acrobat. This, again, from Mike Ruiz, Fox Digital, published on foxnews.com. The headline says, Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's missing mom case shifts tactics. Dateline, Tucson, Arizona. More than 5 weeks after the suspected abduction of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today co-host Savannah Guthrie, Arizona authorities say cadaver dogs used earlier in the investigation are not currently being deployed as the search continues. The elder Guthrie is believed to have been kidnapped from her home in the Catalina foothills in northern Tucson around 2:30 a.m. on February 1st. While no suspects have been publicly identified and she has not been found, cadaver dogs had been deployed earlier in the case, according to Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos. They have not been visible in weeks. Quote, they are available if needed in the future, close quote, he told Fox News Digital. There are a number of reasons not to use cadaver dogs at this stage in the investigation, according to Betsy Brantner Smith, a retired police sergeant and spokeswoman for the National Police Association. So here are the answers to some of my questions. One would be if there's credible information that Guthrie is still alive, and that is what we're hoping here, right? An 84-year-old woman with a pacemaker, a history of heart problems. We are maybe not jumping to conclusions is not the right way to say this, but maybe we are a little too fast to go there, that she may no longer be with us. Now, of course, we're not the only ones who might feel that. I mean, Savannah Guthrie posted a video to Instagram saying the same kind of thing. She may be gone from this world. She may have gone to meet the Lord that she loves, right? But maybe one reason the cadaver dogs aren't out there, according to Brantner Smith, is that she's still alive, that there's credible information saying that she's still alive. Quote, anything is possible, Nanos told Fox News Digital last week, adding that he would not discuss specific leads or evidence in the case, as he should not. Brantner Smith, who is not involved in the case, said departments may hold back canine resources for several reasons. Those could be that authorities don't have a good idea of where to search. Yeah, so maybe they believe she is gone, but where do we search? Where do we even begin? They think she might be concealed in a place where dogs would have a hard time detecting her, or they believe she's been taken to Mexico, according to Brantner Smith. Now, this is something that we talked to Jen Coffendaffer about, and that is one of her theories, that Mexico is an option. It's possible. And I'm not too sure. Like, I haven't been down to the Mexico border in years, and I know that it's a hot button. It's a political kind of football that's been used here in the United States for several years. I'm not going to get into that part of it. But I would imagine that those that have experience crossing the Mexico border would be able to do that. Having said that, this doesn't feel like cartel-related activity, right? I mean, there's just so many questions. All right, getting back to the article from Mike Ruiz. Quote, I do believe that the Sheriff's Department has much more information that they are not releasing to the public, she told Fox News Digital, and I'm not sure at this point why that would be unless they have a solid suspect and don't want to tip them off. That's something to think about. Do police have a suspect? Are they just, I guess, getting the net ready for the trap? Right? Are they closing in? I'm mixing metaphors here, but do they have a suspect? I doubt that's something that they would share with us. Most departments, including the Pima County Sheriff's, this is not the quote, that was the end of the quote, continuing from Michael Ruiz. Most departments, including the Pima County Sheriff's, don't have their own cadaver dogs and borrow them from state and federal authorities or neighboring jurisdictions. In Guthrie's case, the Sheriff's Department sought canine assistance from the local Border Patrol office earlier in the investigation. PCSD deferred further comment on the canines to Customs and Border Protection, which did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The biggest lead so far has been Nest camera video showing a masked intruder on Guthrie's doorstep. Of course, we have seen these photos. The morning of her abduction, he is described as about 5 feet 9 inches to 5 feet 10 inches tall and of medium build. Let me just play the videos here. Here we go. He was wearing a black Ozark Trail backpack, and I would add that it appeared to be full. He also was wearing a pistol precariously perched in front of his dangly bits. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but, well, not ever seen, but the weirdest gun placement I've ever seen for sure. Continuing Mike's article, authorities have said they won't consider the case closed until they run out of viable leads to follow. Oh, they won't consider the case cold until they run out of viable leads to follow up on, and tens of thousands have come in so far. Savannah Guthrie has asked anyone with information to dial 1-800-CALL-FBI. There's a combined reward of more than $1.2 million for information that leads to her mother's recovery. And let's bring up another photo of Nancy. Let me go over to your comments. I did see that we had a couple more. Let me just make sure that I don't miss anybody's awesome super chats. What have we got? Christine Meadows, thank you very much for that super chat. Beth Pepper's Coat says, is it possible that A&T owed a lot of money to someone and they took Nancy to send a message to A&T? So we're going to talk a little bit about, I mean, I'm not coming down on you, Beth, but it's just reminding me we're going to talk a little bit about theories that we might come up with, and I'm perfectly happy to talk about theories and speculate on these things for sure. I try to minimize that as much as possible, but I do it. But we don't want to take anything that we discuss as gospel and we talk about it online about this is definitely what happened. You know what I mean? We'll get into that side of it. Is it possible? Sure. Yeah. And I would imagine that if Nancy's daughter and son-in-law, referred to as A&T in this comment, did owe a lot of money, then investigators would know that right now. And so I guess we will see what happens next there. Another one from Just Ducky saying we are halfway there. Indeed, we are. We have 5 super chats so far. Let me see where. Let me grab a couple more comments here. See where you guys are coming in from. Marietta, Georgia, in the house. The Old North State is here. San Jose is in the house. Thank you very much for being here. What else have we got? Hello from the Eastern Terminus for the Pony Express and a jumping off point for the Oregon Trail. It's been too long since I played Oregon Trail. I know Willamette Valley is where we were headed, but where did we start? Was it in like St. Louis? Was it St. Louis? I can't remember. Indiana is in the house. Thank you for being here. Emmy, hello. Thank you for being here. Man, sometimes my system locks up. Eastern Kentucky is in the house. Hi from the motherland of Utah. That is my motherland indeed. Northern California is here. Texas is here. Alabama is here. Ohio is here. Thank you guys. Near Tionesta. Oh my goodness. My neck of the woods here in Western PA. Miss Chivo's Dragon is greetings from the home of South by Southwest, which I happen to know is Austin, Texas. Because I have been a speaker at South by Southwest. Yes, indeed. Watching from Arkansas. Thank you very much. Okay, South Florida's in the house. Yeah. Happy Magic Island Monday. It's time for Nancy's safe return. Indeed, it is. It very much is. And Philip says, yeah, she may be anywhere. And that is true. Very tough. Let's see. Philip says, my theory is still Annie owed Nancy money and wanted to borrow more, and Nancy said no more money. I don't know that there's any evidence or indication that that is the case, though. I mean, if anybody wanted money, I mean, I think that Savannah is the biggest target, isn't she? I don't know. Thank you all for checking in from where you're from. It's awesome. Massachusetts, Delaware, Cleveland, Toronto Beach, Fredericksburg. Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay. And we are halfway to our goal, which is awesome. Okie dokie. The next thing I wanted to bring to you, there are a couple more articles that I wanted to bring. I'm not going to read all of them, but there are a couple of things that I find interesting out there. Okay. This one from one of two parade.com articles I'm going to share with you. This is written by Effie Orphanides. Headline says, Nancy Guthrie update. Former FBI agent says one detail suggests she was alive when taken. And that is one of the questions that some of us have had. Let's just hop in. Okay, the search for Nancy Guthrie continues, blah, blah, blah. While talking to News Nation's Brian Enton, a former FBI agent, Jim Clemente, said that the droplets of blood on Guthrie's front stoop suggest that she wasn't killed before she left the property. Quote, it tells me that she was probably alive when she left the house. If you saw a dragging pattern, smear patterns on the floor, that would be another issue, but that's just not what we've seen. We haven't heard anything about that. But this blood spatter pattern that appears to be from droplets, that tells me that somebody was walking and bleeding, not mortally wounded, close quote. Clemente said. Clemente's thoughts on the blood spatter may debunk the theory that Guthrie had a heart attack and died after being woken up from a deep sleep. I think woken up is the proper way to say that. I usually say awakened, but tomato, tomato. Speaking about the case on the March 7th episode of Nancy Grace's Crime Stories podcast, sleep specialist Pat Burns said that he was concerned with that might have happened if that's interestingly phrased, if Guthrie was woken up by the perp inside her home. Quote, the research just shows that elderly people who, even without heart conditions, are at a high risk of heart attacks and being violently woken up from a deep sleep. So that's what the scientific research shows. And so you add on the fact that she has a pacemaker, which means she has a heart condition, makes it worse. He said on the podcast, adding that Guthrie would be at a very high risk of a heart attack. Pima County did confirm that the drops of blood were from Guthrie. The second one, again from a former FBI agent, this written on parade.com by Michelle Stein. Suspect's capture will be underwhelming, says former FBI agent. I kind of hope so. I hope that it's just like, hey, it's done, everybody. We got it. Here's a little press release. Here's a press conference. Yeah, we got them. Ask your questions. No, I can't answer that. Ask another question. No, I can't answer that. And that goes on and on and on and on for an hour. I hope that that's the way it is. And I hope that when the suspect is captured, that Nancy is found alive. Let's read what Ms. Stein has to say. During a recent interview with Tony Brueski on the Hidden Killers podcast, former FBI Special Agent Robin Dreeke speculated about the type of person who would commit such a crime. Quote, when they do catch this individual, I think people are going to be underwhelmed with who this is, Dreeke admitted per Daily Express US. As far as Dreek sees it, the word targeted might set up folks following the case for unrealistic expectations if the person who kidnapped Nancy, of the person kidnapped Gavin. Hey, Javi, can I have a take two on that? Let's get some. Do I have any transition music that I could play? Wanda, do you have any transition music that's not like that's all you have? Well, let's do just a little transition music. Okay, that's calming me. I can slow down a little bit. That was nice. Thank you very much, Wanda. We need to work on maybe getting a repertoire of transition music together, though. Okay, let's get this back. As far as Dreek sees it, the word targeted might set up folks following the case for unrealistic expectations of the person who kidnapped Nancy, 84. Quote, "We see this word targeted in a fictional, targeted way," he explains. Everything we see in law enforcement is reality. We expect different things to happen because we have the grandiosity from TV shows. That is the weirdest quote. I'm stumbling over it, but people speak differently than the way we write. So, okay. Drake added, quote, "That's why I think we're going to be underwhelmed. Targeted means a lot of different things. It's a keyword. It's a hot word." So, are we going to be underwhelmed? I mean, I'm not expecting El Chapo to have done it for obvious reasons, but you know what I mean. I don't think that. What was it in Back to the Future? Who are the bad guys in Back to the Future? The Libyans. I don't think the Libyans have come and have taken Nancy. It's somebody who either has a beef or multiple beeves. Did you guys know that the plural for the word beef is beeves? It is. So somebody with a beef or more, or somebody who wanted the money, or somebody who, just somebody, right? I don't think it's going to be the Libyans driving a Volkswagen bus, firing AK-47s. I just don't think that that's going to be. Okay, the next article I brought, I prepared for you guys. Remember last week we talked a little bit about internet outages and files missing from Nest cameras, which is an interesting take because if somebody was technologically savvy enough to mess with the internet connectivity of this neighborhood, were they savvy enough to not leave a digital footprint? And I'm sorry, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here. Hang on just one second. Yes, this is a bit of a tangent. It is true. But when fingerprints were first starting to be used as a way to identify suspects, the criminals changed tactics. They started wearing gloves, right? When DNA was first starting to be used, which wasn't all that long ago, but when genetic genealogy and DNA and stuff like that started to be used, well, smart criminals started to take precautions to keep from leaving DNA evidence, right? I won't get into the graphic details of that, but it is the case. Now we have this new frontier forensic technology, which is the digital forensics. And of course, there are people that have tried to get away with it. People like Brian Kohberger, right, who tried to get away with not having his cell phone on him, which of course was used against him as evidence of premeditation, consciousness of guilt, and so forth, right? But I do think that criminals are going to get more and more evolved about this, and we're going to see an evolution. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Now, if it is the case that this utility box was messed with in order to cause an internet outage, in order to make it so that home security systems weren't recording. Well, that's interesting, and it tells us something about the perpetrators here, right? So I found this very interesting indeed. Okay, Kate Murphy, yahoo.com, damaged utility box under investigation for possible link to internet outage when she disappeared. And by the way, dang it, guys. I know some of you are going to say it's too many tangents, but I got another one. Going back to the old school tangent. Yeah, there is something to be said about having a security system that doesn't just back up to the cloud, doesn't just go to a service like Nest or Ring that requires some sort of internet connectivity. Now, I don't know the products well. Nest and Ring may have some sort of like backup if there's an internet outage or whatever, but there's something to be said about having a good old fashioned DVR, right? And modern ones will record lots of data in stunning 4 and 8 and 2K and in color at night. So this is not a transition into sponsored content, though it should be. Get yourself a good security system. Okay, getting back over here. All right, we've read the title twice, Gavin. Move on. This again from Kate Murphy, published on yahoo.com. And I believe I've put the links to these articles in the description. I have started doing that. The Pima County Sheriff's Department is investigating a damaged utility box around the corner from Nancy Guthrie's home as the desperate search for Today co-host Savannah Guthrie's mother continues in its second month. Investigators believe it could be connected to a reported internet outage that occurred around the time she disappeared in the early morning hours of February 6th, which disrupted nearby home surveillance cameras. Savannah Guthrie reunited with her coworkers, blah, 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 blah. It just talks a little bit about that. I don't know that I'm going to get into that. Savannah Guthrie did go back to the Today Show, and I don't think that she's come on yet. But it looks like there's this transition to normalcy, and that might be maybe I should read that because that might be an indication of what's happening with her mother's case. Savannah Guthrie reunited with her coworkers at the Today studio in New York City last Thursday. She thanked her colleagues for their support, shared hugs with her co-anchors, and expressed her interest in returning to the show when the time was right. Quote, I think her coming here, just being able to be with us and for us to be able to hug her, I think it's a step. Today host Chanel Jones told the audience, I don't know what's ahead of us, but all we know is it is a step. Haven't been significant breakthroughs, but there's now $1.2 million in combined rewards being offered for information leading to Nancy Guthrie's recovery. So, this internet outage, guys, we should all have a way that we have local backups for our security systems. Okay, let's go over to the live chat here real quick because I did see another super chat. We're going to allow it. The super sticker. Thank you very much, Sandra. Thank you very much. We're at 6. We're at 6. That we are so close, and we're only halfway through. We're only halfway through. So this is good. This is good. Let's see. Philip Carter, you don't buy a $650,000 house on a teacher's salary. Go figure. Au contraire. Au contraire, Philip. You do in many places. You do in many places. And this is just me being a professional quibbler. Don't I have like, quibbler?
I'm a professional quibbler. I love to quibble.
I do. I love to quibble.
I quibble for fun.
Yeah. In many parts of the country. There we go. In many parts of the country, $650,000 house is just a house. And I know that in many parts of the country, teachers are underpaid, and in many parts of the country, they are paid well. So I don't know. I'm quibbling. I'm quibbling here. ¿Qué más tenemos on the comments? What do we have? St. Joseph, Missouri is in the house. Let's see. Rhonda, big hugs to you. Thank you very much. Miss Chivo's Dragon says, yeah, now we all need to harden the security around our incoming internet. Learning so much from this case, I did bring in my hide a key from the yard. Good. Yeah, if you have a key under the mat, maybe bring that in. That's smart. Ohio Palm Mom, are you still thinking about going over different security camera options? I need to do that, and I've got a security expert that is willing to come on. I need to get back to her. Dang it, I have dropped the ball on that. Sorry about that, guys. Just Ducky, if she's still alive, do you think Savannah going back to her work trigger the kidnappers one way or another? To me, Savannah going back to work is more of an indication that she believes that her mother is no longer in this mortal coil. But what do I know, right? That's just me reading between the lines. I don't know. Yeah. So, greetings from 999 plus 1 Oaks, California. Nice. Hey, Beth Pepper says we do need a few more super chats. We got about a half an hour to go. And thank you guys for your support. I deeply appreciate, and I want to show you what I've been working on. It's a terrific spot. Actually, let's pause here for a second and let me just show you what I have done in the past. For those of you who are new, let me just show you one that I've done in the past, okay? Let's do Cluvelta. Are you constantly narrating your own life like it's a Dateline episode? Do you whisper, "The husband did it," at weddings? You may be one of the millions silently suffering from a condition known as True Crime Brain Syndrome, or TCBS. But now there's hope. Cluvelta, the first semi-legal, questionably tested treatment for TCBS. Cluvelta helps restore balance to your life by gently replacing your obsession with murder with an obsession with real estate shows. Cluvelta users report fewer murder boards, shorter Reddit rabbit holes, and an increased ability to trust their spouses again. Maybe. Side effects of Cluvelta may include watching cooking shows and actually following the recipes, trusting your neighbors not to be serial killers, starting a knitting club, and accidentally solving local crimes anyway, hallucinations of Keith Morrison narrating your dreams, and in rare cases, mild interest in HGTV. If you experience sudden urges to say, "Let's circle back," or "This doesn't add up," discontinue use immediately and call your podcast co-host immediately. Cluvelta, because even you deserve to sleep without checking your Ring camera 12 times a night. Okay, so this is the kind of thing that we're talking about, okay? Now I think that I've done a better job on this next one. But we shall see. We shall see if it can be played or not. All right. Let's go over to the very last article that I have for you guys on this case that I think is that I think that we should be aware of from KVOA.com, local, looks like NBC affiliate, written by both Marissa Orr and Marissa Orr. I'm not sure why it has both her name twice there, but day 37 of Nancy Guthrie case, investigators continue to follow up on leads and tips. Dateline Tucson. It is day 37 of the search for Nancy Guthrie, who disappeared from her home in the Catalina foothills in February. Investigators continue to follow and develop tips and leads in the case. On March 8th, a spokesperson from the Pima County Sheriff's Department confirmed to News 4 Tucson that investigators are aware of the damaged utility located around the corner from Guthrie's home. Quote, "It is being reviewed as part of the ongoing investigation," the spokesperson said. Continuing the quote, "At this time, we do not have any more information to release," close quote. Last week, FBI agents and PCSD were seen going to several homes in Guthrie's neighborhood to follow up on leads. According to NBC News, investigators asked the neighbors if they experienced any internet issues the night the 84-year-old disappeared. Homeowners told NBC News that investigators mentioned several homes in the area had experienced glitches the night Guthrie disappeared. Could this be coincidental? I guess it could be, right? This is Gavin speaking, not the article, but be a heck of a coincidence unless it happens all the time out there. Continuing on from Marissa and Marissa, NBC News asked Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos if the suspect may have had a Wi-Fi jammer with him. Quote, I've not looked at that closely, but yeah, I know that my team has looked at it with the FBI. Every angle, Nanos said. United Cajun Navy, a Louisiana-based nonprofit, is offering to assist in the search for Guthrie. The nonprofit has submitted a more than 40-page plan to PCSD last week, but said they have not received a response. Okay, I mean, that's cool, but I imagine that that police and FBI really just want everybody to stay clear of the area. It's awesome. And I don't want to like poo-poo this United Cajun Navy at all. It's awesome that you want to help. And I should say, it's awesome that you're going through the PCSD, right? Instead of just going out there and helping, because oftentimes that's just not helpful. So good on you. As the search for Nancy enters day 34, PCSD continues to ask homeowners in the surrounding community to submit relevant footage in relation to the case. The video footage can be submitted through a PCSD link. I haven't looked at that link. Let's just go to it real quick. Oh, it's an evidence.com link. I'll bring this up for you to see. Just you can submit evidence very easily, which is pretty darn cool. The investigation remains active as detectives pursue every lead. More than $1 million in reward money is on the table. That includes $102,500 from 88 Crime, $100,000 from 1-800-CALL-FBI, and $1 million from the Guthrie family. And no press conferences are scheduled at this time. Very well. Let's bring up a photo of our victim here again. I'm just not sure how to feel about this, right? Just not sure how to feel. I just want so bad for Nancy Guthrie to be found and to be brought home safely. I think that as time passes, and as we see things like Savannah Guthrie returning to work, I think the chances are falling. I talked with a missing persons expert on Background, so I'm allowed to talk about it, but I can't tell you who this was. But on Background, I talked to a missing persons expert who said that they put the chances of Nancy Guthrie being alive at less than 1%, which I'm sure the Guthrie family are hearing from law enforcement. Really, really tough. Okay, going over to your comments once again. Let's see. Sandra, are you there yet? Oh, I think you're number 7, Sandra. Thank you very much for doing that. Number 8 came in from Ohio Palm Mom saying thank you for your coverage. Bobby McRae says it was St. Joseph. That's where the Pony Express launch is. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, so that's what we have in terms of what is going on in the Nancy Guthrie case. But don't despair. Don't despair. We still have a couple more segments left. I think what we're going to do next is 3 questions. Let's hop into 3 questions. Here we go.
It's 3 questions with Gavin Fish.
Pow. Okay, guys, in the 3 questions segment, I answer 3 of your questions that come in. You can send them in to 3questions@gavinfish.com. 3questions@gavinfish.com. It's spelled out THREE, questions@gavinfish.com. And I endeavor my darndest to answer your questions completely, honestly, on the record. The only thing that I do say is I get to choose the order in which I answer them. So there is that. And this first question came in a little while ago So it's probably not fair that but I do have to answer. It's from Zoe, and it's apropos of this one. Oh, I think we just got our 9th super chat in from Garth B. Nutt. Let me check. Let's check for the record. Indeed, Garth B. Nutt is. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Gavin pushing wrong buttons. Javi, I should leave the button pushing to you. So Garth B. Nutt, you are number 9. Are we going to get there? I hope so. I really hope so. Okay. For the question is, for the Nancy kidnapping, who do you think took her? I know some people have said that the one band member did it, not the one with the thinker beard, but the other one. I am going to withhold my speculation on that. I know this is answering your question. I just don't know. And I don't think anything. I'm just going to continue to just follow the case. And oh my goodness, guys, look what just happened. Look what just happened. That is super chat number 10 from Zoli G. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. All right. That makes me happy. We're going to do the spoof commercial, but we're going to do it at the end. Okay. So hang out until the end of the show, and then we will. Thank you. And thank you. Oh my goodness, guys. Thank you so much for supporting me. Lately, the channel, like what they call the RPM, the revenue per 1,000 views, has gone way down. And it's made it really, really hard for me to do the show, right? So I'm so grateful that you guys are taking care of me. And here comes one more. Thank you very much, Bobby McRae, for that super chat as well. Okay, getting back to our questions. Here we go. Question number 2 is from Debbie. Do you like to eat grilled cheese sandwich? Debbie, there is not a person in this world who loves grilled cheese sandwiches more than this guy right here. I love grilled cheese sandwiches. I specifically love them with sourdough and with real butter. And do you guys remember the Snack Master? It was a kitchen gadget that would make a grilled cheese pocket kind of a thing. I was one of the first buyers of that device back in the day. I love grilled cheese sandwich. Now she continues. If yes, Debbie, the answer is yes. So let's continue. Have you ever put pickle slices on one before? Trust me, you will never eat them plain again. Debbie, I am so grateful that you are sharing this little pearl of wisdom with my channel. To answer your question, yeah, I have. Yes, I have. And my favorites are the Claussen. They're the ones that you find in the refrigerated section. They're the Claussen slices. They're extremely crispy. They're extremely tart and dilly. And the cheese that I choose to go with the Claussen pickle in my grilled cheese sandwich is the humble provolone. I don't care if it's smoked or not. In fact, I prefer if it is not smoked. But that is a delicious, delicious sandwich. In fact, it is also the official travel sandwich, the official non-grilled travel sandwich of the Gavin and Kimberly Fish family, established 1999. What we do on trips, is we get like big pieces of French bread where you can just pull off a hunk of French bread, open it up, put in the provolone cheese, put in the Claussen pickle, and nom 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 as you drive along. So, guys, if you have not tried this, you must try it. It's like if you haven't had peanut butter and bananas, you're missing out. Bonus points if you do peanut butter, bananas, and Lay's plain potato chips. Best ever. Okay. Now, I'm not partaking right now because I was once fat Gavin and I'm on my way to fit Gavin. But I will again. Believe me, when my calorie budget allows it, I definitely will. And I would love to hear in the live chat and in the comments your little pearls of Epicurean wisdom like Debbie's with the grilled cheese and pickle sandwiches, because they are delicious. All right, last question of the day is from Melody. I loved seeing your music room. Does your wife or do your children play any instruments? The answer to your question, Melody, is that all of us, all 7 of us, and now 8, it didn't happen recently, it's been like 2 years that our daughter has been married, but our 8 children, we don't have 8 children. Gavin, Javi, can I get a take 2? We have 5 children plus 1, so we have 6 children. I didn't do that right. We have 6 children are all musically inclined. I would say that we are mostly just kind of noodlers, but we have a couple of daughters that are beautiful vocalists. We have a daughter who is a trumpeter. We have a son who is a saxophonist. We have a daughter who is a flautist. We have a daughter who's a pianist. We have a son-in-law who's a pianist. We have a son who's a guitarist. We have a music room because we love music and we love to play instruments. Kimberly is a pianist. She's definitely way better than I have ever been. But anyway, in fact, just this very day, Kimberly sat at the piano to play Cruella de Vil for one of our beloved neighborhood children. So yes. And if you would like to see a picture of our music room, we have it in the Fish Tank, which is where we hang out on Facebook. The Fish Tank, I think I showed you guys earlier, but this is what the Fish Tank looks like. If you're on Facebook, you are cordially invited to join us there. It's probably buried at this point, but if you scroll through, you will find it. It's in there. It's definitely in there. You will see our music room. Might be one of the more recent one, or one of the early ones, right? But anyway, you guys do it if you want to see that. And thank you very much for that question. I appreciate that, Melody, and I love that your name is apropos of the question. That is delightful. Now, while you guys are putting into the live chat your delicious foodie things that we should all try, and tell me about musical instruments that you play. If you play the lute, I want to know. If you play the what's it called, the hurdy-gurdy, I would love that. I would love to know what kind of fun instruments you guys play. And while you are telling me that in the live chat, let's go through some headlines real quick.
True crime headlines.
Okie the dokie. This one, I've just been keeping wrong button, Gavin. Javi needs to be our professional button pusher. This one just kind of jumped out at me, and it's been reported in a couple of places. Conan O'Brien did an interview in anticipation of him hosting the Oscars, and he briefly brought up the murder of Rob and Michelle Reiner. I thought that we should talk about this. Written by Riley Cardoza for Page 6. Headline says, Conan O'Brien makes rare comment about party Rob Michelle Reiner attended before murders. Conan O'Brien spoke about being dragged into the scandal surrounding Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner's murders in a new interview. By the way, I know that Conan O'Brien is a comedian, but I think that he's displayed absolute class here. The comedian acknowledged to The Hollywood Reporter on Monday that the late couple were slain hours after attending his Christmas bash with son Nick, who has been accused of murdering the duo. Quote, very simply, we had a party, we invited our really good friends, and then the next day, this terrible thing happened, O'Brien told the outlet. Continuing the quote, whatever difficulties my wife and I have experienced having our name attached to it are nothing compared to the scale of the tragedy for the family and the loss of Rob and Michelle, he continued. The former Conan host noted, quote, if you're a known person, your name is going to get dragged into things sometimes. However, he clarified, quote, it is not a hardship. There's only sadness that they're gone. The Emmy winner previously broke his silence on the awful scandal in February to The New Yorker, which we covered in on this very program. Conan O'Brien continuing to show class and and temperance in his commentary as we seek to temper our commentary on the case as well with humanity and with compassion. Okay, then this one caught my eye from NBC4i.com, the NBC4 Investigates team in Cleveland, written by Ava Boldizar. This was written last week, but I find this very important as a reminder to all of us who are true crime fans and aficionados to remember the toll on the victims and the family members of victims by our hobby, okay? Tepe family member on the toll of being the suspect of online speculation. Dateline, Columbus, Ohio. In the days after Spencer and Monique Tepe were killed in their Columbus home, their family was left grieving and enduring a wave of online speculation and accusations. Spencer, 37, and Monique, 39, were found shot to death in their home in their Wineland Park neighborhood on December 30th. Their two young children, ages 1 and 4, were found physically unharmed in the house, and boy, am I glad that they put in physically, because they were harmed. Quote, "It's been just life-altering," said Rob Misley, Spencer's brother-in-law. "The day we got the calls, you could feel this massive weight just kind of pressing down on us, and it's like everything is going to change. We're never going to see them again." Close quote. The case of a dentist and his wife being killed while at home with their children quickly drew national headlines, online discussion, and the attention of true crime content creators like yours truly, like this channel. Monique's ex-husband, Michael McKee, was charged with her and her husband's murders on January 10th. But in the approximately 11 days without an arrest, a flood of social media users threw out their own theories, dug into the couple's lives, and accused multiple people in their orbit of being involved. That is the crux of this, right? We should not be levying accusations. We shouldn't be doing that. Dealing with all that, this is a quote from Misley, "Dealing with all that as we're going through planning the funeral, figuring out what to do with the house and where the kids are going to be and who's going to keep the dog, and all of these things that were just flung onto us in a second. It was tough," Misley said. "My mental health took a toll. I wasn't sleeping very much. I wasn't eating very much." A true crime content creator was one of multiple individuals to insinuate Misley was involved in the killings on the internet. Misley said his friends and family members came to his defense and got attacked by online users. This is the key. And I know that on this channel, we're not guilty of this. I just want to make sure that we keep the reminder, okay? Quote, "Your speculation turns into other people's facts. And it's like you're lighting a torch. Now the mob is joining you," Misley said. "These people who, again, were not there from the beginning, have very limited information on anybody involved, are now just saying these things whether they believe it or they're doing it for clicks and likes." And that's where I will stop on this, because I think we get the point, right? We do not want to be guilty of just putting out accusations with very little information that other people who just, the internet, I don't know about the internet sometimes, right? I sometimes think we should go back to a pre-internet time. But just by putting a theory out there to someone, pointing the finger at somebody else could turn into like a fact to somebody else. So we've got to be very, very careful. And I just thought that we should take this as a reminder, again, to be compassionate, to act with humanity, to temper our commentary with those two things, as was asked of us by the Reiner family. And those, my friends, are your headlines.
True crime headlines.
Okie dokie. Let's just get some comments before we get to the latest commercial. I can't remember if I showed this one yet or not, but thank you very much to Werewolf 279 for the extra super chat. Thank you to Deb Schaller for the extra super chat. Deeply appreciate that. Thank you to Hughes for the super chat. Thank you so much, you guys are taking care of me. My goodness, and do I appreciate it. And Garth B. Nuts says, you are worth it all. Thank you very much. I am worth it. That makes me feel good. Thanks, Garth. A couple of comments here. Mooney says, peanut M&Ms mixed with hot peppers in oil is a true masterpiece. You get out of town, really. Peanut M&Ms. Well, peanuts with spicy sauce are delicious, like Kung Pao chicken or Kung Pao tofu. So yeah, I get it. Peanut M&Ms mixed with hot peppers. I'm totally in. Totally in. Elizabeth McMasters, or is it McMaster Esquire? There we go. Gavin, back in the day, I played the flute and tenor saxophone. I was much better on the sax. I tried the violin, but didn't get too far. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Robin says, lightly toasted white bread, a slice of American cheese, mustard, crumbled up green olives. So tasty. Very nice, you guys. Autumn says, fried spam and mustard sandwich. You know, that one feels like a, maybe a, what do they call it? What is the term when, a guilty pleasure? I don't think that I've ever admitted out loud to anybody that I have enjoyed spam, but indeed, in my childhood, I was fed spam and corned beef all the time and loved the stuff. So fried spam and mustard sandwich. Bobby's saying dairy allergy here. Dang it. Dang it. I am so sorry. So sorry that you don't get to enjoy that. That's a bummer. Any other comments? Nothing. Oh, wait a minute. One more. Liz Fortes, Gavin, did you see JLR comparing Tommaso's walk with the porch guy? His walking gait was exactly the same with unusual turning inward of his foot in the landing stride. Yeah, I just feel like if Tommaso were involved, he would have been arrested by now. And the police wouldn't have said he's in the clear. I know that there are a lot of you who like JLR. I am dubious. I'm jealous for sure. Jealous. That dude is like printing money out there, but I'm dubious and skeptical of JLR. So no, I haven't seen that. Thank you very much for that last comment to come in. Now, guys, without further ado, shall we play this parody? It's not really a parody. It's more of a spoof. All right, here we go. And let me just say one more thing. Thank you. You guys have been amazing. I appreciate you're amazing every day. You've been especially amazing today. Thanks for taking care of me. Here is the commercial for Lullaby. Here we go. When you investigate crime, you learn something important. Every strand tells a story. Some stories fall apart under pressure, but great hair holds up under questioning. That's why I trust Lullaby. Because great hair never pleads the fifth. Lullaby, when the evidence is in your favor. It is. There it is. What do you think? It was a short one. I thought a 30-second spot was appropriate for being a TV commercial. But yeah, should we do it one more time? Let's do it one more time. Here we go. When you investigate crime, you learn something important. Every strand tells a story. Some stories fall apart under pressure, but great hair holds up under questioning. That's why I trust Lullaby. Because great hair never pleads the fifth. Lullaby, when the evidence is in your favor. Guys, my wife laughed so hard. Mama Bear says, Gavin, your voice is so soothing that you should consider doing a true crime story for the Calm app. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Deb with another super chat saying, love you all. We love you, Deb. Thank you very much. Black Widower says, OMG, love it. Beth Pepper's Coat says, gorgeous. We got a laugh out loud from Nancy. A ha 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 from Black Widower. Beautiful. Brilliant. Love it. And Autumn loves the goofy ads. I do. So does Christine. The side part, yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? It looks good. I should wear my hair that way tomorrow. You know what? Black Widow needs some lullaby. You know what my wife did yesterday? She was playing with my hair and ended up doing an amazing like upsweep, like an old school upsweep. I have pictures of. Maybe I should put that in the in the in the tank. So if you guys are not in the fish tank and you would like to see the old Gavinator with his hair up in a beautiful updo, thanks to Lullaby. I mean, my hair is silky smooth. It's got all the bounce you want. It like, oh, it's just amazing. And it all is from Lullaby shampoo. I will put those pictures in the tank. If you're on Facebook, you are cordially invited to come join us there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for taking care of me today. I really appreciate it. Those super chats and super stickers have become so important in making it possible for me to continue to do this. There are other ways that you can support me and my team on my website on gavinfish.com. There's always a link to gavinfish.com in the description below. If you click on support me up here, YouTube does take about 40% of the revenue that comes in, which I think is fair because they give me this platform. But if you'd like to send money through the tip jar or PayPal, you can do that. You become a patron. And please, please, please take care of Autumn, my lead moderator, by buying her a coffee. That button is right there, and she puts it in the live chat from time to time as well. With that, just thanks again. I will be back again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time right here on this same channel. I hope to see you there. Until then, take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Please go to the end scene. Let's see. Okay, Javi. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.